Hey everybody, Mike here. We're talking about the Lord's Prayer, and today we are looking at the sixth petition. Lead us not into temptation. We're just taking a real quick snapshot of what are we asking God for in this. Again, a petition is a prayer. There's several prayers within the Lord's Prayer. And what do we mean by lead us not into temptation? There's a question there, does God tempt people? No, God does not tempt people. James spells that out very, very clearly for us. He is perfect. He cannot cause people to sin. But we are tempted in a number of different ways. And I'll give you the three key ideas, if you will, the temptations that exist around us. So one is that same one that Satan used for Eve. Did God really say? Did God really say? It causes us to question God's goodness, and that means I question whether I can trust Him. It makes me think maybe I would know better about what should be done here, and so it puts me back in the driver's seat of being God. And again, anytime I claim to be God in my life, that self-centeredness in God's eyes is what He calls sin, evil, wickedness. It will lead to everything that we have to deal with here. So doubts about God's trustworthiness are a huge one. Another one is a temptation to believe that God does not love me. All right, it's an issue. Maybe if you're not a Christian and you're seeing this, that's one of the reasons why Christianity is not something you don't even want to go there, because God can't love me. Judas, why did he hang himself? He was remorseful. He knew what he had done. He was sorry for what he had done to Jesus, but he despaired. His belief was that he was tempted to believe, and he did believe then, that God couldn't love him. That's a temptation that we face. Another one is temptation is to, it's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. We're tempted to believe that making a sinful decision, making a self-serving, sinful decision isn't going to really hurt anybody. And these are the temptations that we face every single day. On some level, we're going to see some of that. Shame works its way into that. Believe that you're nothing, or overconfidence and arrogance. So we all have to fight these things. So when we pray, lead us not into temptation, we know that God does not tempt people. But we're asking that He keep temptation away. And we're also asking Him to help us overcome this temptation. Help us be aware of it. Martin Luther, in the great Reformation hymn, A Mighty Fortress. I remember hearing a pastor friend of mine talk about, there's a line in there that there's one little word that will fell the devil, that will make him flee. And I used to always think that the word was Jesus. But he had said to me, no, the word is actually liar. And I got to thinking about that, and that's it. When you are being tempted and you recognize that what you're being tempted with is a lie, the devil has to flee. He knows the gig's up. He'll come back. He'll come around another time. Liar. Why? Because we're aware of the temptation. That's what we're asking God to do. Make me aware of the temptations that are happening to me, and then give me the strength to say no or to flee. And I heard this one too, by the way, and I'm just throwing this out, especially for all us guys out there. But we fight temptation. When the devil comes to us and to lie, but when it comes to sexual temptation, he says to flee. So, Lord, give me the wisdom and the strength to know when to stay and fight, stand firm in your word, and let me know when I need to run to the shelter of you, because I don't belong here. Lead us not into temptation. It's the sixth petition. It's the sixth prayer that Jesus teaches us. We've got two more things that we're going to do, the seventh petition and then the doxology. So we'll have those coming up next.